So if it's like the other pathways, then that means there's still one more segment left to go in this doorway. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around. Ooh, interesting. This kind of looks like the mechanical room from the other pathway, but I could be wrong. Hell is this place? The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and Seven reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified. This room is really creepy. Is that kind of like an electric chair? Think we ought to get the hell out of here, now. But we can't yet, can we? He jogged up the stairs on the opposite side of the room and shut the door on the wall next to the catwalk. Ooh, more catwalks. Didn't open, and he muttered to himself. Figures. It's locked, isn't it? Yep, don't know why I thought this one would be any different. Junpei looked around the room again. The center of it was a chair. The back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires. Beneath it was a strange glass panel. Junpei wasn't sure what it was for, but it made him uncomfortable. Whatever might have been beyond the glass, Junpei couldn't tell. It was too dark. Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth. Parts of the cloth were stained with something that looked suspiciously like blood. On the top of the table were a number of metal instruments. Junpei didn't know what they were for, and he had a feeling he didn't want to find out. His mind began to imagine what could have taken place in the dark, cold room. The things he imagined were not pleasant. Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it, and tried to focus on something else. Anyway, we don't want to stay here any longer than we got to. Let's figure out the puzzle and get the hell out of here. Come on. I agree, let's do it. How many segments we got here? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a good amount. Let's start with the smaller ones, like what's here? Of course, this entrance is locked. It's been like that in every room we've been in. What did you expect? There's no point to try to go back. Let's just think about going forward, alright? When you look at it from here, the catwalk looks pretty high up. That makes the stairs pretty steep. We better be careful going up and down then. There are a bunch of pipes up near the ceiling. I don't think there's going to be a puzzle up there. At least I hope not. We can't even reach them. What else do we got? We got this. What's in here? Thought there was a hole here, but I guess it's got a cover over it. You're not going to be able to get that off. It's bolted on there pretty good. Maybe there's something around here we can use to get that thing off of there. You see anything in there? If you can't see anything, I don't really think we need to bother with trying to open it. It's too dark to see anything. Huh? Did I see something shiny in there? I don't know, did you? This tank thing is connected to the pipes. This looks like it's supposed to split a pipe or something, you know? But this one just connects to a pair of pipes. Could have done the same thing with more pipe. Doesn't really seem like they need it here. Wonder if there's a reason for it. Well, there's got to be a reason. Of course, it could always be poor design because it's like an old thing. Handrails runs all the way from the entrance. Doesn't go down one side of the stairs. These stairs go to the exit. Alright, and then let's ignore this one for now. Let's go over here. Set of rusty stairs that lead to the door we came through. What, you want to go back, Junpei? Wish solving the puzzles was that easy. There are a number of ominous looking tools and instruments here. Let's see, we got an adze and hammer, a pair of forceps, and these other things are too old and broken. I have no idea what they are. Hey, doesn't this wrench look too new to be here with all this other stuff? Yes, it does. I didn't notice it before you mentioned it. But it's not rusty at all. It's probably on purpose. The wrench looks brand new. Considering where we found it, I have to wonder how it was used. Knock it off. What? I don't want to think about that. Oh, okay. You've already seen plenty of things that are a lot more cruel than that. You're unexpectedly sensitive. Come on, let's not talk about stuff that doesn't matter, okay? We need to find somewhere we can use this thing. True facts. Okay, so I guess we don't need the other stuff. Torture tools. I don't think there's anything else here we need. Okie dokie, then let's look at things we might need, maybe. Like this place. Like the door. Can we go? No? It's not that simple? Of course not. Guess we can't force this one open. Figures. Was that easy, we wouldn't be having this tough of a time. Well, it isn't, so why don't we have our tough time of it and figure out a way to open the door. Sounds like a plan. Nothing suspicious about these lights. You sure? They're a little blurry for the dust, that's about it. Okay then. Let's start with the chair. Ah, don't start with the chair. Start with this. Ah, don't start with that. Start with this. Ah, don't start with that. Don't start with anything. The cables sure don't look very pleasant. This looks like something from a prison movie. They come all the way down from the ceiling. Just trying to look up that has making my neck hurt. What's wrong, Junpei? What are you doing on the floor? Well, I thought maybe if I got down here I could see through the glass. It's not working though. You don't think it's just a large sheet of glass they put into an indentation? I don't know, I mean, why would they do that? And the placement of the chair... You're not making sense, Junpei. What's your point? Well, I'm not sure, but don't you think there's something under the glass? If only we could get under there. And I'm sure at some point we will. A really creepy chair. The manacles make me think it was used to torture people. That is the likely scenario. Well, we can't open these manacles without a key. There's some sort of weird symbol on them. There's something on the screen. This device will conduct the experiment. Once the experiment has been conducted, the door will unlock. Interesting. First, adjust the switches to match the blocks in the sample above. Okay. Huh. I don't know what this thing is. We gotta figure out this puzzle. It's right next to a torture chair. Whatever it is, I don't think it's good. Anyway, we just adjust the switches to match the blocks up top, right? You adjust the switches shown at the four corners of the screen. Then press the check button. Junpei, we don't know what this thing does. You can always come back to it later. There are lots of other things you could do. Okay. So we need to match the blocks. Okay. Intriguing. Ooh, hey! I did it! So what does it do? Okay. Adjustment is completed. Now proceeding to execution phase. I'm not gonna die, am I? To complete the experiment, data must be collected from subject. Once preparation is finished, place the subject in chair. Whoa, whoa! I thought we solved the puzzle already. What does it mean about preparation? I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this. I think this means one of us has got to sit in the chair. Well, 7's never going to fit in that thing. It's either you or me, Junpei. Collecting data. I wonder if it's gonna run electricity through the subject. Okay, I'll take the bullet. I already left you behind once before. The human head on the screen. Maybe it's gonna zap the brain. A little electricity? This really doesn't sound safe. Anyway, we still got to prepare. We can talk about this after we figured out what it means by preparation. Alright? Well, it wants us to prepare, so maybe we ought to ask it what we need to do. First, there's something else. That's kind of scary, but let's look at this. These levers have got to turn something on. Of course they would. All they can do is turn something on or off. What's important is what they turn on or off. Yeah, it's what they affect, not how we use them, but what they do. Don't say the floor is going to suddenly open up. Red, yellow. Think the colors mean something? No idea. I mean, red looks dangerous, but other than that, bottom of this one looks like it's covered in rust. I don't think it'll move at all. So how about this one? Move it? See some oil or something down the base of this lever. Yeah, feels like it's got some movement to it. Should be able to pull this one. Alright, let's pull the lever. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Oh, water? What the hell? Is that good or bad? What's going on? Will you calm down? It's just water going somewhere. Sounds like it's underneath us. That means the floor. Oh! Junpei, look! What's she? Oh, damn! I can see through the glass now. Well, let's look. There are a couple of letters in the color of blood written on the shark's belly. Shark? That's a shark? Well, it's something. It's dead. Looks like the letters are E, D, B, and F. Not quite sure what that means yet, but I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Whatever it is for has to be in this room somewhere. Well, there were letters over on the control thing, so I guess we'll take a look at that. Guess the shark was someone's pet? Oh, that's a bit of a surprise. Die on the chair, you get dumped into the water, and you cleans up the mess. Ugh, ew, that sounds efficient, but ew. Convenient. Now it's just, oh, that makes it even more nasty to think about that. Ugh. And that's the reason you couldn't see through the glass too, probably, so you don't see the shark underneath you. Anyways, E, D, B, and F, I believe. There are a bunch of buttons here, with the letters A through F on them. Let's push some of them. There, down you go. So if I press it again, back you come. Guess these buttons switch something on or off when you push them. E, D, B, F. Magic. What? There's a strange noise coming from the chair. It looks like it's been turned on. Well, that's a pleasant thought. I guess the puzzle here was that the power had to be sent in a specific way. Well, I'm glad it's turned on, I guess. We're gonna... Symbol. What? Symbol? What symbol? Well, if I got this right, I think it's the sun symbol. Where's the sun symbol? I don't see the sun symbol. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. Is it like somewhere I can't see very well? I don't know. What else do you have to say? The manacles are still locked in place. They got a sun symbol engraved on them. Like these sides? I don't know. Anyways, our preparation's complete. There's a whole lot of cables coming out of that thing. It's really kind of a mess. I can barely tell which is which. Anyways, the restraining device is locked but empty. Subject has not been properly placed. Oh god. Unlock the restraining device and reseat subject. Well, the restraining device has to be the chair. Well then, I guess we just need to unlock the chair. How do we do that? The screen says we need to unlock the chair. Manacles are still locked in place. They got a sun symbol engraved on them. Well, we have this screwdriver. Is that what we gotta use it for? I mean, I don't know. Okay. I got the screwdriver for something, I'm sure. Anything I'm missing? There are 10 knobs here. Doesn't seem like any of them do anything, though. You think it's broken? All the dials are pointing in different directions. Maybe something will happen if I turn one? Ah, shoot. They're all rusted. I guess turning them doesn't really do anything. The needle on the gauge is 0. Doesn't look like it's going to move. Okay, so what do we unscrew exactly? We have this thing sitting here. Wait, maybe it's this, actually. Yeah, okay. Cover's put it on there pretty good. Should be able to get those bolts off with this wrench we just found, though. I completely forgot about this part. This is probably the key we need to move forward. Sweet, it's open. What's in here? The hole's too small. You can't see in, even with the cover off. Well, you can't see in, but I think there's enough room to stick your arm in. Are you sure you want to do that? There could be something dangerous in there. Okay, I admit that scares me a little, but we need to see if there's anything useful in there. So are we doing that? Alright, here we go. Arm in the hole. Hey, I think I feel something. Small, cold, and hard. Don't feel like there's anything else in here. Alright, let's see what this thing is. Sun key! Super! A key with the sun symbol on it. Alright! So, this is a new key. We've never had this before, I don't think. Because, like, we've never been in this room before. So I'm pretty sure this is new. And I think, wasn't there a sun symbol in the main room that we could never open? Maybe that's gonna give us something. I guess. Isn't there also some place that's supposed to be, I think, in this section that we can't open without a key card from the first section? I'm not entirely sure how that works, but if we do have to do that, then the time will come when we do that, I guess, maybe. We should be able to open the other door with this. Yeah, we gotta get out of this room before we can do that. We're probably gonna need the sun key to do that. None of the doors in this room have keyholes. Bet we gotta use it on something that's not a door. Well, there's only one thing I can think of. I think this puzzle's a lot quicker than the other one, it seems like. We're gonna solve it much quicker, I think. The sun key should fit into the keyhole in these manacles. Alright, time to strap myself into this. Ugh. Hopefully I don't die. Alright, sun key, in you go. And yes! Great, they're open. I don't think we're gonna need the sun key again in here, though. Just seems unlikely. Alright, sun key, you've done your job, into my pocket with you. Wasn't that stuff already in your pocket, or where are you keeping it if that stuff's not in your pocket? So yeah, we don't have very few items to work with in this room. Now, what about this? Are we done? Oh god, story segment. The restraining device is unlocked. Oh man, I'm afraid something terrible is gonna happen. Oh boy, I'm ready. I think. I hope I'm ready. Please seat subject and device. Message on the screen was disturbingly detached. Well, like we thought, it's not gonna work unless someone sits in it. How ironic that this would be the situation in which the slim... How ironic that this would be the situation in which this slim, beautiful body is useful. Lotus, are you sure? I can sit in it, and you can solve... Junpei's right. We screwed up. Seven couldn't bring himself to finish the thought. His eyes fell to the floor. Junpei followed them. Yeah, beneath him was the dead shark floating underneath the glass. Perhaps it had been killed by an electric shock. Maybe there's electric running through the water. I'll be fine. Even if I fall in, the shark's already dead. But your big boobs! We can't risk hurting them! No one likes an indecisive man, Junpei. Well, that's not true. There are different people with different values. I can still give you advice from the chair, too. You know. And besides, you're the protagonist, so you have to do other puzzles. And that's the real reason I have to sit in this chair. I just don't want to stay in this room any longer than we have to. Go over to that screen and let's get this over with. After her words had made it clear that Lotus would book no argument, she turned and walked toward the chair without hesitation. You got some balls, lady. I'll give you that. She did not sit down. Despite what she had said, she did indeed feel hesitation. Her legs shook. It's okay. If you want to switch, I will. Do you think you could do me one last favor? What? Don't say last. Making me nervous. Just take another favor. It's not last. Just listen. If something happens to me, I want you to tell my daughters that I love them. Oh, there's the... I think that's the first time we find out that she has daughters. I already think I knew about this from a comment at some point, but I don't think I've ever actually been told this till just now. I think. I love them very much. No. Tell them that I will always love them. Daughters? You've got kids? Yes, I do. Maybe one of them was in the previous Notre game? Maybe that's Lotus's connection? I don't know. I suppose they're about your age, Junpei. They're twins. I had them when I was young, after some things happened. You got raped? Ooh. I wouldn't be surprised considering your current personality. No offense. I like your personality, but, I mean, I like it a lot more than I used to. I used to hate it, but when I started the game, now I like it a lot more, but I can understand if you did get, raped. It would make sense with your character. Nona! Oh my god, Nona! 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 She said Nona. She just said Nona. She just said Nona. I heard it. Seven, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I think you heard it. Wait. Nona? Junpei's words shot out before he even realized what he was saying. We didn't even hear the other one's name, but yeah, Nona. Like, holy crap. Okay, yeah, everyone's connected. I was right. The only people we don't know about the connection with is June and Junpei. Technically, we haven't been confirmed that Santa has a connection, but since his sister, like, what was it, died 9 years ago or something, then that's definitely a connection there, I think. Remember the story Seven had told him. Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those are their names. Well, some of them. Kids that were there in the experiment, I mean. Well, what the hell? What's wrong with you? Lotus took a step back from Junpei. Seven looked just as shocked as Junpei. He blinked his eyes rapidly, as if he weren't sure if he was completely awake. Oh man, what's going down? No way, it couldn't. Lotus, is your last name Kashiwabara? Oh, Japanese names. How I love you sometimes. Kashiwabara. Lotus's eyes went wide. How do you know that? Are you serious? Oh, man. What the hell is this? I knew it. She had to have some connection. There's no way you're that kid's mom. That kid? What do you mean, that kid? Why are you acting like you've met her? Seven's brow furrowed. I have. What? Yeah, I met one of your kids. When? 9 years ago. Where? On this ship. Why were you... It's not a short story. I don't care how long it is. Tell me, please. What happened here? Seven glanced at Junpei, then turned back to Lotus and began to speak. It was the same story Junpei had heard only moments before. Every detail. Really? You couldn't give an abridged version? The last haven't finished. Lotus shook her head. Oh my god. Everything I've been looking for the last 9 years. The person who had all the answers was right here. Huh, so you were looking? Looking for the answers to what happened to your disappeared children? Or at least one of them? Interesting. Yes, that's right. 9 years ago, my daughter... Oh, both of them. Oh, that sucks. My daughters disappeared. Then, 9 days later, they came back. Oh, interesting. They never told me what had happened to them over those 9 days. Oh, okay. I took them to the doctor, but I was told they hadn't been hurt in any way. Okay, so your daughters were found, and nothing bad happened to them. So it probably was Santa's sister who got axed in the experiment, I'm guessing. But, yeah, for some reason they refused to talk. Interesting. I wonder what the deal is with that. Still, I was sure they had been through something terrible. So I couldn't bring myself to force them to talk about it. If I did, then I'd force them to relive whatever horrors they'd been through. I didn't have any choice. I had to try to ignore it and move on. A few months passed. Gradually, they started to act like they always had before they disappeared. They smiled and made jokes and did all the silly things kids do. It got harder and harder for me to ask them about what had happened. How could I ask them to remember that? Eventually, I knew there was no way I could do it. But I'm still a mother. I couldn't simply forget that something terrible had happened to my children. So I decided I would investigate what had happened on my own. I would find out what had happened during those 9 missing days. What'd you find out? Nothing. The police pretended to be concerned, but they didn't do anything. Once the 16 children who'd gone missing came back, things were just swept under the rug. Paid off by a large company, possibly? Even the media didn't talk about what had happened. I figured someone was probably paying or threatening them to keep their mouths shut. Cradle Pharmaceutical. No, probably something even bigger than that. Cradle Pharmaceutical. Have you heard of them before? No, that's the first time I've ever heard that name. 7. How did you find out the Cradle Pharmaceutical How did you find out that Cradle Pharmaceutical was connected to the kidnappings in the first place? I figured finding out whatever the victims had in common would lead me to the culprit. That's what any good cop does. They all went to the same doctor or something? What'd they have in common? Every single one of the kids who disappeared had gone to this one hospital at some point. The hospital was one of a bunch that were under the control of Cradle Pharmaceutical. After that, it was just about connecting the dots. The hospital. The hospital. For a while, I was trying to get some kind of story out of the kids at the hospital. One of them told a weird story. What was it? Have you heard about the Gansfield experiment? Probably not. Gansfeld? No. Guess all these kids had to go through it while they were at the hospital. I think it was passed off as some sort of counseling. 7 cleared his throat and proceeded to explain the Gansfeld experiment. First, subject Q and A are put into separate rooms, far away from one another. Then a series of video images are shown to subject Q, who was told to send the images to subject A by thinking about them. It's back to this whole story again, yeah. It always links back to this, doesn't it? Subject A, on the other hand, is put in a large reclining chair and given a blindfold. With their senses cut off, A is asked to guess what image Q is looking at. Oh yes, I've heard of that. It's a famous telepathy experiment, isn't it? Telepathy. Telepathy. Junpei rolled the word over his mind. That's how the experiment on this ship was supposed to work. The experiment to control people, right? Yeah. I don't know if any of the telepathy stuff really exists, but maybe someone from Cradle Pharmaceutical bought into it. Lotus grunted. 7 had been thinking hard for the last several minutes and finally spoke. Even if it is the case, I still don't get how that has anything to do with any of this. An ornery game? 0? Why were we kidnapped? It's probably all got to do with the person who got axed in the last game. And if that is Santa's sister, which would make the most sense, then I guess you could argue, well, maybe Santa's 0, but I don't think so. Honestly, with everything we've learned, I think it's gonna be June. That would make the most sense. I don't know. It could still be Santa. It could really be a lot of people. It can't be Ace at this point, I don't think. And the only way we're 0 is if we have like some kind of split personality disorder, which you never know. It's possible. What does any of that have to do with telepathy? But June definitely seems like the most likely candidate. I know I brought all this up, but I have no idea. Maybe none of this stuff is connected after all. Then, in that moment of silence, a cold voice echoed from down from the ceiling. What? No subject has been detected. Unless a subject is detected within 60 seconds, all power will be shut down. What? System recovery is estimated to take 1 hour. We can't do that. Someone sit down in there. If you wish to proceed with the experiment, please seat subject in the restraining device. Do it now. We don't have any more time. Let's go. Whoa, that doesn't sound good. Quick, someone sitting there. Yeah. Okay. I'm going. Oh no, that's not all we... Just hurry up and get it over with. Junpei, I'm counting on you. You got it. I'll protect your boobs and your kid's mother. Lotus sat down in the chair. Junpei looked at her one last time, then made her way to the monitor. Made his way. Lotus, please, tell me right away if you feel anything weird. You worry too much. Now get on with it and be a man. Arjun's gonna leave you. Haha, nice. Lotus was putting on the best act she could manage. Her legs were shaking so much that if she hadn't been sitting, she likely would have fallen down. Failure was not acceptable. Junpei took one last deep breath and stared at the monitor. Let's do this. Okay, so we got another one of these puzzles. They look the same. Error. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. So we're trying to make these match then? We need all three of the top layer ones. And that's not how it's gonna work. Oh, okay, we can only do one or the other. So you got 1 and 1, but that's not good enough. Let's turn it off for a second. Let's go back around. Let's go around here. Now we need a bunch of things being turned. Okay. What'd that do? Nothing? Did it do something on the other side? Ooh, intriguing. No. Oh wait, actually. Does that look right? Well, that looks right over here, yeah. Okay, so let's go over to the other one again. So we got a bunch of these being turned. Still need some more though. Doesn't quite do it. What are we missing? Is it on the other end? That's not quite right. Is that right? No. Let's try this. How are we gonna do this? Let's turn both these off for a second. Let's go back around to the other one. This might take a bit of doing. Ooh, well that works. Is that it? I did it? It looks like I did it. Okay. The experiment has concluded. The door will now unlock. Alright, nice. I near the door unlocking. And is Lotus okay? And now we got a new message. Release subject from restraining device. Lotus, are you alright? Yes, I am. I'm glad nothing bad happened, but I do think my life just got a little shorter. Hold on, I'll get you out right away. Shouldn't take long for Seven and me to get her out of here. Let's get out of here now. Being a guinea pig is not for me. Damn straight. I don't ever want to see this thing again. And then let's move on. What lies behind this door, I have no idea. Let's go though. We gotta press forward.